What's good everyone, it's your boy yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's here, and following up on my recent videos where people were making up narratives of a yadiiiigg Carti beef and a Uzi Carti beef, to which I tried to provide more clarity and information to those situations to show everyone that there wasn't some big beef. I got a lot of good feedback from you guys on those videos, and I want to do the same with Trippie Redd and Carti, because again, I think the full story in regards to They Afraid of You, the snippets, and a lot of the quote-unquote Biden isn't being told, and I just want to make sure you guys have the full picture when it comes to this situation, so you can best make your decision about this and not some theory from someone else.
Bitch, you lied. Don't know why. You just wasted all my time. Really thought that you were mine. Girl, I thought that you would hold it down. I thought you were my slime. Used to have you as my number one. Now you can't get in line. Oh, she a thotterati. Suck me sloppy, give me toppy. She a thotterati. Hottie body loves nobody. She a thotterati.
Now, firstly, for the recent allegations of Trippie stealing Carti's flow and then beefing to make sense, we really need to go back right to the beginning of their relationship and break everything down. Now, the Trippie and Carti relationship really begins with a bunch of collaborations between the two that would be teased via snippets. I'm talking songs like Autopsy, Exotic, and That Bitch, some of which we have since seen leak, but none of which have been released officially. This then leads us into July 2019, where in an IG post promoting a song Trippie has with Ian Dior, he replied to a comment about Carti saying that him and Carti have a collab EP in the works and it's on the way. Now, this news went all types of viral in the Carti and Trippie communities, and knowing Trippie loves to troll, some fans took this as Trippie just trolling and that he was doing it for attention, whilst other fans took it seriously. And to me, it wasn't too far-fetched, considering that the two had been seen together a couple times, and as I said, we had already heard various snippets of collabs between the two. There was definitely enough music for a small EP at least. However, there really hasn't been any talk of the tape again, at least seriously, from either Trippie or Carti. Now then, fast forward to exclamation mark, and this is really where the beef narrative stems from. I'm sure as a lot of you are aware, the album originally comes out with a song called They Afraid of You, a Carti and Trippie collab, which was also another song we had heard before via snippets, and then a few days after the album releases, the song gets mysteriously removed from streaming services and is never added back to the album. And this of course led to a lot of speculation in the hip-hop community as to what happened, because people were saying that Carti had the best verse on the album, so we deleted it. People speculated that it was sample clearance issues and they were forced to take it down. People were saying that Carti's label didn't sign off of it, and then we also know a version with Boosie existed because he teased it on IG Live, so people were saying that Boosie was involved somehow. However, ultimately we never found out exactly why from an actual source in a public forum. Carti never spoke on it, Carti's label never spoke on it, Trippie's label never spoke on it. The only time it ever got addressed publicly was in 2 interviews.
To be honest, that whole song even got ruined.
Got ruined?
Yeah, Boosie was on it too.
I heard.
Yeah.
I mean, is it something that you would ever want to revitalize on some like deluxe album, or just call it a dub? Because like I said, they all in your comments asking, everybody want to know, so that's it, dub.
And another time in an interview with Hot New Hip Hop, where he said he's just going to leave the theories to be. And as you can tell with both those answers, he basically gave a non-answer and we got no real information from them. And because there was no actual evidence from a concrete source, this led to fans creating all types of theories claiming they quote-unquote really know what happened, which started up the rumors of the beef narrative between Trippie and Carti stans, as people speculated that Carti didn't want the song on the album or didn't like the mix, so he forced Trippie to remove it, and the two started to beef from that. Or Trippie got mad because people were saying that Carti had the best verse, so he removed Carti from the album, so then they started to beef. And I want to reiterate, no matter what fans quote-unquote claim they know, we haven't heard from an actual source as to what happened. However, what we do know and what narrative needs to be deaded from this is that the removing of the song did not create any beef from Trippie and Carti, and despite whatever went on behind the scenes with the song being removed, the two were still cool. And there are 2 main things that prove this. Firstly, and most importantly, Trippie's exchange right here between him and Carti shows Carti praising Trippie's next project, A Love Letter to You 4, and secondly, Trippie on numerous occasions after this has played Carti's music on his story and on his Instagram. To me, that right there should dent any discussion of beef or bad blood between the two stemming from the whole Afraid of You situation. If Carti hated Trippie for doing what he did to the song, A, he wouldn't be talking to him after that, and B, there is no way he would tell him his next album is fire. And secondly, if Trippie hated Carti, A, again, he wouldn't be talking to him, and B, he wouldn't be playing his music on his socials. And I feel like those points right there people gloss over, people don't mention, and hasn't been talked about at all, and I just wanted to set the record straight. Now we get onto the wider discussions about all the snippets we have of Trippie quote-unquote Biden Carti, which we have 4 of so far that people point to. And guys, before we move on to the snippets, I just want to give a quick shout out from my Instagram. Big shout outs goes to Carti plus Pierre. Yo, this is a really dope page. He's got some rare shit on this. I like a lot of the cool photos. Make sure to check it out if you haven't. Carti plus Pierre, shout out UG. Also, if you haven't, man, at yadiiiigg, make sure to go support your boy and drop me me a follow on Instagram. And you can see my Carti, Uzi, Travis merch pieces on screen right now. Link in the description to cop if you're interested. And I've been pumping out the content nearly every day for y'all. Like to support the boy, and if you haven't, subscribe and turn on notifications. But let's continue with it. The first one is known as Hello Kitty, which is where Trippie has a neon inspired voice / flow.
Hellcat say meow, smoke cat pissy now, tryna see what I be about.
The second one is his Star Power song, where again he has a Carti inspired voice / flow from Molly. The third one is him quote unquote stealing the lyrics from another Carti song titled Whoa.
Where the fuck I be without my slacks? Where the fuck I be without my slack? Be without my get? Where the fuck I be without my slacks? Where the fuck I be without my...
And the fourth one again is more lyrics based than anything, as people are saying that Trippie is biting Carti for even mentioning a whole lot of red in his lyrics, as obviously Carti's next album is titled A Whole Lotta Red.
Got a whole lot of red, got a whole lot of holes in my bed. Got a whole lot of red, got a whole lot of holes in my bed.
Okay, now with all of that in mind, it would be so easy for me to make this video bashing Trippie, calling him out for biting Carti, saying he's a lame, making all types of jokes, because really, that's the most popular opinion out there right now. However, everybody's spoken about that side. Instead, I'm going to provide a different perspective and outlook on this situation, and I want to say ahead of time, I don't even necessarily believe or am supporting these points right here, but I do think they're good points to consider for you to make your decision about how you feel about this. Number one, it's super important to qualify that Trippie and Carti, as I pointed to earlier, are clearly friends and were still cool after the Afraid of You situation. Trippie literally said recently that Carti is his favorite artist.
Somebody said Carti. Shout out Carti. That's my favorite artist. Tell that nigga drop Whole Lotta Red.
So whilst I understand that there's a fine line between biting somebody and paying homage, specifically for these two snippets right here where he has the lyrics from Whoa and the Whole Lotta Red lyrics, I think Trippie was paying homage and showing love to Carti rather than biting him. Again, on the other snippets where he was definitely biting the flows and the voice from Carti, is that cool? Probably not. Is that biting? Probably yes. You can think that, and maybe that's a fair opinion, but I do think in the case of the other two snippets where the lyrics were inspired by Carti, that was him paying homage. And secondly is this comment from Trippie Redd about him supposedly writing songs for Carti. If you guys are unaware, Trippie, in response to the claims of him biting, came out and essentially said that he wrote some songs for Carti, but Carti didn't use them, so he kept them for himself. Now, outside of Trippie's word, there is no proof, but this could very well be true, and originally these songs could have been reference tracks for Carti, but Carti didn't end up using them, so he kept them as Lucy's. Thirdly, and I've spoken about this in another video, I think Trippie knew what he was doing with the first two snippets in regards to trolling the Carti community for attention, and I think for Star Power and Hello Kitty, for which he put the snippets out there, those points still stand. He definitely knew what he was doing in terms of getting attention from them, and as I pointed out, it definitely worked. On the day he teased the Star Power song and that went viral in the community for him biting, his artist that basically nobody knew about before gained thousands of followers. And lastly, it's super important to say that all of these songs, as far as I'm aware, were either going to be on the 1400/1800 collaborative mixtape that Trippie has on the way, or were never going to be released outside of that. And so far, on top of that, only one of the songs has actually been released, which is Star Power, and that was released on his backup YouTube channel as a loose song and wasn't put on streaming services. I say this to say it would be different if Trippie was coming out with a Love Letter to You 5 or some big major label album with his first single that was blatantly biting Carti, had the baby voice, and was saying a whole lot of red or was saying another Carti lyric. But if he's experimented and trying something different on some Lucy's on a mixtape, to me, sure, he's still biting and that's 100% not cool, but it definitely makes me look at the situation in a different light, and maybe I can cut Trippie some slack. Again, this doesn't take away from the fact that he bit Carti heavily on some of these snippets, and again, all of those points I don't even necessarily agree with, but what I do think is that people are going a little too harsh on Trippie, and the truth of the matter is we don't really know. It's definitely not cool of Trippie to do this, but again, I hear people making up narratives of beefs and issues between Carti and Trippie, and as of right now, there is literally no solid proof to suggest that. We know for a fact that they remained cool after the Afraid of You situation with that DM I showed you there. We know Trippie's favorite artist is Carti, and he continues to play his music on lives and on stories, and on top of that, we have no idea if Carti has even heard these snippets or if Carti even cares. 100% Trippie has taken inspiration of Carti with them, but to create an issue from just the snippets, I'm not doing that, and I do think Trippie and Carti are going to release music in some form in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much everything right there. I just wanted to give you guys my perspective on it and provide you with all the information that I know about. If you made it to the end of this video, comment your dig down below. Shout out to everyone on screen right now who did it for my other video. Big ups. Also, support the boy. I'm pumping out the content. Follow me on Instagram, like the video, turn on notifications, subscribe as well. You guys know the go, and there are more videos of mine on screen right now. Make sure to check them out if you haven't.